Welcome to Illuminati Silver. We tell you the truth about silver. Today is Sunday the 23rd of May 2021 and we're publishing the 19th episode in our Bitcoin vs. Gold and Silver series. In today's episode we look at what has happened to Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies this past week in particular and why its price has fallen and appears to continue to do so. So let's take a look. Okay, before we look at what's happened recently, a quick recap. In episodes 1 to 10, we explained why we launched this series and why people found Bitcoin attractive. We confirmed the size of the equity and gold and silver markets and compared them with Bitcoin's capitalisation value. We highlighted a non-exhaustive list of the disadvantages of Bitcoin, which is similar to other cryptocurrencies, and that Anthony Scaramucci's Skybridge Capital had launched a brand new Bitcoin fund, and the reasons for doing so. We also looked at the intrinsic value of gold and silver compared with the intrinsic value of Bitcoin, and also we looked at a number of YouTube and Google influencers and why Bitcoin's prices fluctuated to such a high degree. We analysed the effect of how the shortage of microchips affected the ability to mine more Bitcoin, and we covered the Reddit Robinhood short squeeze and how some of the serious fund managers and hedge funds were predicting $85,000 Bitcoin into the not too distant future. Then in episodes 11 to 18 we talked about the potential future direction for Bitcoin, gold and silver, and compared what was then gold and silver's weakness with Bitcoin's robustness, though things have taken a dramatic change. We then asked, when Bitcoin stood at $60,000, would the Bitcoin bubble burst, especially against the backdrop against the likes of JP Morgan predicting $130,000 Bitcoin? We have often taken the view when people start quoting prices into the stratosphere, that's usually the time to sell. And then we finally reported on Bitcoin taking a severe hit, dragging down other cryptos with it, and suggested this may not be the end of its woes. Well, since we produced the video last week entitled Bitcoin and Cryptos Crash Thanks to Elon Musk, What's Going On?, which was published on the 17th of May, and we've placed a link in the description box below. But since then, the Chinese government also has expressed concerns about accepting cryptocurrencies and backed this up by prohibiting financial institutions from carrying out business using cryptocurrencies. In addition, US authorities also suggested stringent reporting requirements to be potentially introduced for transactions in excess of $10,000, which could potentially severely curtail and restrict large transaction investments. We shall now therefore take a look at a Bloomberg article published yesterday on this very subject, and also at what Elon Musk has had to say since his unfortunate tweets causing the Bitcoin collapse. Bloomberg article dated 22nd of May 2021. Bitcoin ends week in volatile flux with China rattling bulls. Bitcoin whipsawed, heading into the weekend after a fresh warning from Chinese officials over cracking down on cryptocurrencies. The largest digital currency fell as much as 10% in late Friday trading to as low as $33,550, before rebounding to as high as $38,133. The coin almost hit 30,000 earlier in the week after ending May 14th at 49,100. The latest blow came when China's State Council reiterated its call to curtail Bitcoin mining and trading. The crypto market was already rattled earlier in the week by forced selling and possible US tax consequences. You must always proceed cautiously with China, never get too bullish or bearish, said David Tarwell, president of ProChain Capital. We'll have to see what the regulation brings. It's one thing to say, it's another to do. The earlier sell-off on Friday hit Bitcoin believers still fuming after one-time proponent Elon Musk did an about-face and criticised the token for its energy usage. Bitcoin is down about 24% since last Friday, though it's up from Wednesday plunge to as low as $30,000. Other coins have slumped too. Ether's down about 38% over the past 7 sessions. Aside from China, experts say cryptocurrency has become an asset that investors hold longer term. Former US Treasury Secretary Lawrence Summers compared crypto to gold as a safe haven asset. Quote, "Crypto is here to stay and probably here to stay as a kind of digital gold," unquote, Summers said in an interview with David Westin on Bloomberg Wall Street Week. There's a good prospect that crypto will be part of the system for quite a while to come. Still, he doesn't expect consumers to turn to Bitcoin for most of their payments, even though it could become an important part of e-commerce. The sour stretch with Bitcoin started with Musk suspending acceptance of Bitcoin payments at Tesla Inc. and trading barbs with boosters of the cryptocurrency on Twitter. China's central bank added to the downdraft Tuesday with a statement warning against using virtual currencies. On Thursday, it emerged that the US may require crypto transactions of $10,000 or more to be reported to tax authorities. China has long expressed displeasure with the anonymity provided by Bitcoin and other crypto tokens, and warned earlier that financial institutions weren't allowed to accept it for payment. The country is home to a large concentration of the world's crypto miners who require massive amounts of power and thus run afoul of the nation's efforts to curb greenhouse gas emissions. The new guidance issued from the regulatory agencies. They're taking it more seriously. They want more enforcement. Bobby Lee, founder and chief executive officer of crypto storage provider Ballet, said in an interview Friday. There's talk about going after miners. The question is, can they catch all the miners? China's moves this week highlight the country's continued desire to seek control over the notoriously volatile asset class. It's something China would rather see regulated by the People's Bank of China, market watchers say. It's not really the mining issue that is the problem, said Matt Maley, chief market strategist for Miller Tobacco & Co. They say they're doing this as part of an effort to control risk-taking in their markets, but it's really a signal that China's not going to be a big market for cryptos unless it's a PBOC-controlled one. In the meantime, volatility in Bitcoin is likely to stay elevated. The sell-off Friday once again pushed Bitcoin below its average price over the past 200 days, which to some chartists and technical analysts suggests it could trend lower still to around $30,000, where it found support earlier this week. This week's swings have led to huge liquidations by leveraged investors and damaged the narrative that cryptocurrencies will become more stable as the sector matures. Musk's actions showed how just a few tweets can still upend the entire market. But even more so, the past few days have renewed the regulatory threat on the crypto market. Investors are underestimating the regulatory risk of crypto as governments defend their lucrative monopolies over currency, said Jay Hatfield, Chief Executive Officer of Infrastructure Capital Advisors in New York. In the United States, the possible imposition of transaction reporting requirements could be the tip of the iceberg of potential Treasury rules on virtual currencies, he said. Bloomberg article dated May 22nd, 2021. Musk tweets he supports crypto in battle against fiat currencies. Elon Musk is again tweeting about technology and cryptocurrencies, and this time he's clear on where his support is at. The true battle is between fiat and crypto. On balance, I support the latter. In a thread started by Musk himself comparing magic to technology, where someone asked what he thought about people who are angry at you because of crypto, the Tesla Inc. CEO tweeted that the true battle is between fiat and crypto. On balance, I support the latter. Bitcoin rose after Musk's post and was trading at around $38,700 as of 9:32 a.m. New York time. Musk has made similar comments before, including in December, when he tweeted that Bitcoin is almost as BS as fiat money. In February, he elaborated to say that when fiat currency has negative real interest, only a fool wouldn't look elsewhere. Former US Treasury Secretary Lawrence Summers recently compared crypto to gold as a safe haven asset, but said he doesn't expect consumers to turn to Bitcoin for most of their payments, even though it could become an important part of e-commerce. Earlier in the week, Musk had tweeted that he won't be selling any Dogecoin, and he also posted a cryptic image of a dollar bill with a Shiba Inu dog replacing the face of a former US president. Where Bitcoin is heading is difficult to establish in the very short term. We've seen gold and silver prices rise for sure, and no doubt we do not foresee cryptos closing down shortly. We're still of the view they will eventually head higher again, but frankly this next week may prove a tough one for Bitcoin, and we could well see its price fall, not only down to $30,000, but possibly even lower. And of course, again dragging other cryptos with it. Having said that, perhaps too much market fear has now entered, and we may see a dramatic recovery, though we doubt that very much. Not at this stage. What do you think will happen? Do share your thoughts. Meanwhile, thank you so much for listening, and if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to our channel. Not forgetting to press the bell sign so you're notified of our videos as and when they are published. Disclaimer. Illuminati silver owners come from a background of banking, international wealth management and economics. Having now retired from these worlds, we are not qualified to give investment advice. Therefore, this and other productions must not be deemed to be giving such advice and merely represent the personal views of its owners.